Wilder and Chisora. I got that call from Chisora, and Chisora's he's a game player.
Yeah.
Because he was saying, when he phoned me saying this is going to be on Sky, I think he played me as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Played Frank, played me, played everyone.
He knows what he's doing.
To make out as though he's going on Sky, Frank, if you want it, you got to pay up, man.
Yeah,
and he's got exactly what he wants.
Yeah. How do you see that fight going?
I think that's going to be a good fight. I think if you'd have talked about this fight 3 or 4 years ago, I'd have said, Derek, you're going to get slaughtered. But then this version of Deontay Wilder, I think this version of Deontay Wilder is fragile. I think this version of Deontay Wilder is no longer as threatening, as dominating. And I think Derek's crudeness will be enough to be a little bit too much for
Do you feel like the Wilder losses to Fury and then Parker and then...
Actually,
yeah. Do you think they took the toll on him and his kind of...
Yeah. Listen, I know he had a lot of personal things going on in his life, but I think it's the 2-3 fights with Fury have taken that edge off him. They were hard fights. I think it's affected both fighters.
Yeah.
It's obviously affected Wilder more than it has Fury. But
Chisora is still an animal. It's still a big animal coming
towards
towards you.
Let's say he's a nut job.
I'll let you say that.
I want to get him on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
I've just seen that Chisora has turned up with a big cutout of Tyson Fury at the presser.
Yeah, so there you go. So Gary's just informed of what he's doing in the presser, which is happening as we speak. And Chisora, it is calm at the moment. And these guys have done a couple of they've been sat in front of each other in the studio. It's calm at the moment. Trust me, this will go off like a match. When it goes off, it'll go off. And they need security there. And don't be surprised, when it kicks off, it's going to kick off in a heartbeat. And that's why Amman was out in Dubai. Yeah. That's what will happen in the build-up to this, because as it gets closer, it's all smiles. I've seen them laughing. You've got two hooligans laughing and joking. I'm thinking...
It's a matter of time before a table gets flipped. Or...
You know what I wanted? I thought if Sky did it, we'd have our gloves off. And then if that was the case, I thought, I'm going to really wind this up. But I knew...
Would you want to sit in the middle of that?
Yeah, man, I've been far enough back, so if anybody throws a shot and he missed. But I knew, and remember, Derek was involved in that brawl with Dylan White in the studio when we did the gloves are off. And Wilder's not one to shy away from a confrontation. But you've got two wild characters.
Yeah, how do you see the fight going?
I'm going Wilder. I'm going Chisora on points.
Yeah.
No, Chisora on points or a late stoppage win.
For Chisora.
For Chisora.
Yeah, I'm going to say Chisora. I'm going to say Chisora on points. I just think if he can hit him with that big punch, I don't know what that could do to... I don't think it'd do that much to Chisora. I think he'd still keep coming at you, and if he gets him square in his face, I think he's still coming. I feel like Wilder's probably lost a little bit of that power.
Yeah, it's a fear factor. I've never seen anybody I have. Julian Jackson, Julian Jackson, concussive puncher, but I've never seen anybody punch so hard. John McCarran, but then when I saw a heavyweight punching so hard and concussively, it's scary. But that fear factor's gone. And then everybody's saying he's back. He's not been anywhere. Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
In the mix again.
I feel like he did it right. I feel like what he did is he retired. I feel like he retired, and then it's down to him to say he's coming out of retirement. But if you just don't say you're retired, people will be like, "Where are you? When you coming back? When you coming back?" I don't mind that because no one's asking him for a fight. I mean, they probably are, but no one's on his back as if he was just not retired, and he's just waiting for a fight.
Well, I think when he said he's retired and he's done, I think he really believed it at the time.
Every time he said it, I think he believed
it at the time. I didn't, because it's in his blood. Got to listen to his mantra. I'm a fighting man. It's in my blood. So at the time he probably believed it and meant it, but I don't think even his wife believed it.
Yeah.
So he's all right, Tyson. And then so this fight's on Netflix against Makhmudov. Makhmudov beat Dave Allen in Sheffield a few weeks ago. I think it'll be a showcase for Fury because Makhmudov is made for him. Size-wise, ability-wise, a bit too slow, might be tough. So this will be it's made for him. Again, I've said it publicly. I don't think Fury's legs are what they were, but the fighter he is now, he's probably the wisest one on the circuit bar Usyk. And so I think he just be too smart, too sharp. Again,
how do you see that going?
Makhmudov's tough. So Tyson Fury, I've seen them out there in Thailand. and really training. And I know we've said earlier on that if he goes in there with the wrong attitude and thinks I don't have to work for this, he gets turned over. But I think the time off and the frustration has reinvigorated him to say, I want to do this again.
Yeah.
And so he's training hard again.
Yeah.
He's getting the weight down. I know he spoke to Greg
Yeah.
and say, come on, get back on board. I know Greg's doing his own thing. Might do, might not. But he's probably needs that little kickstart. Let's just throw a couple of more facts in here. So Ishmael.
Two guests.
Yeah, two guests.
Two former guests. Both nice people.
No, well, we won't see Ishmael until next week on the show, but we've had him in, and Bilal came. Both nice guys, both got a story behind them. How Ishmael spoke, which you'll see next week. How he spoke, you just think, ooh, this is going to be tasty. Because he's kind of a guy that don't mess about.
Yeah, he's not here to mess about. He don't care. Like people see, he's saying like, you don't talk in a ring. That's the last thing you're going to be doing is talking. So all this talking that Bilal's doing his way, he's kind of good at ignoring and just getting down to the fight.
And I think Bilal was good at getting under the skin of his opponent because he's mature. And Junaid, when he boxed Junaid, he had Junaid's. He had his number, got his number. So this fight that comes along, how do you see it?
I think it'll be a good fight. I think it might go the distance unless there's some type of magic punch that comes out of absolutely nowhere. Neither of them look like they're backing down or willing to give in whatsoever. And they've both been putting the training in, as I'm seeing. Do you know what I mean? In the camps, both saying camps are going well. So. Well,
Ishmael, I remember boxing Josh Kelly. He came in at 1 week's notice. And when he came in at a week's notice, he gave Josh Kelly hellfire. And Josh, I thought, was lucky that night to get the win because he thought it was an off night because this guy came in last minute notice. And so if I was Ishmael, I'd look at Josh and think, you're world champion now. If I had noticed, I could have done you. But then again, Josh probably would have taken him differently. You don't know how it would have turned out. But it's got to have given him a lift. So I would, for this fight, I would predict Ishmael gets the win. I think it's going to be a scrappy fight. I think Bilal's cute enough not to get knocked out. It can turn into a survivor. But I think it's going to be a points win for Ishmael.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's definitely going the distance. And I think Bilal's been through enough in his life so he can avoid certain things and he can pull through certain things. But Ishmael seems so locked on with what he's doing. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it is.
Warrington, Wood, both. One's Leeds, one's Nottingham. Good fight, and from the highlights, I mean, it's highlights, isn't it? But it looked like Warrington was having him up until he's managed to catch a lucky space.
Yeah, so Lee Wood used to train at our gym, and Lee Wood is proper grown up. I've seen him tend to, he's at a point now where I think he's got a bit more left than Warrington has. Now this fight's going to be in Nottingham, and so Lee Wood, he knows what he's about. And Josh at Warrington, when he was there, he was like, when he was on it was a very hard man to beat. He's not the fighter he was.
Yeah, it's different. Has he not retired once? I feel like he retired or he'd stepped away for a little bit.
Yeah, he stepped away because he's not the fighter he was. Yeah. So now this is one, it's about money. Two, it's about ego.
It'll definitely be a good fight though.
Yeah, a good fight. Good, I think great fight. One, it's about money. One, it's about ego. And I heard a whisper at one point. Remember Kid Galahad? He's been playing with the idea of like actually getting in and with one of those two.
Oh yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Getting in with Warrington, but in regards to Wood, I think he'd been playing with the idea of actually doing that.
Right.
So he's half in, half out.
Okay.
He's a coach now down at the Ingle gym, but he still keeps himself fit.
Yeah. Still
in the gym training, as so you could turn it on and get into fight mode any time. So
how do you see that Warrington Wood?
Warrington Wood, Warrington Wood. I'd go Lee Wood on points.
You think it's going all the way?
Lee Wood on points because Warrington, but you know what? Could even be a late stoppage because Warrington wants revenge. Yeah. Warrington thinks, I nearly had you, you got lucky.
Yeah. He's trying his hardest not to get wound up in all this build-up as well.
So now Lee Wood knows what he's capable of doing. But it's a good fight.
Yeah. And when I say he got a lucky punch to win the first fight,
I'm not saying it was a God saver.
Yeah, but it wasn't like it was just one lucky punch that he managed to just tap him, which just knocked his block off for a second, and then that's all. Once you see his edge gone for a second, you get in and you get job done, don't you? But that was the only part that felt like it was going Lee Wood's way, to be honest, for me.